Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my most humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of my beloved master Bhagavan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Bhagavata Vahini chapter 38, Serpent Kaliya humbled. Summary. Here, Sage Shuka describes how the boy Krishna at age 5 was fearless and independent. There existed a pool of water in Gokul which was blue, very hot and poisoned. It had caused the death of many birds and animals, and the cattle were kept well clear of the pool. Krishna decided to dive into that very pool, much to the chagrin of others. A terrible serpent emerged with poisonous flames to kill Krishna. The local Gopas and Gopis and Yashoda were terrified at the thought of losing Krishna, but Balarama reassured them. While wrestling with the serpent, Krishna grew in size manifold and started dancing on the serpent's many heads, causing it to vomit out its poison. The serpent Kaliya's consorts begged Krishna for mercy, and Krishna conceded, sparing Kaliya's life on the condition of his becoming peaceful and sattvic going forward. Key takeaways. Krishna's act of ridding the evil of Kaliya in Gokul demonstrates the willingness of the divine to take on tasks that ordinary people shun in order to restore balance and eventually build their own confidence in themselves by way of example to tackle their own problems. By assuming a form many times the size of his own as a child and dancing on Kaliya's head, Krishna demonstrated how the divine is the master and orchestrator of all and how the world dances to his tunes. The act of dancing on Kaliya's and making him spit out his venom is an act of great compassion. It is symbolic of God helping us work through lifetimes of karma, through temporary pain and suffering if necessary, so as to eventually rid us of it and cleanse us fully to our original pure state that we always wanted to be in. Let us therefore welcome tests and even sufferings as kind acts of God meant for our highest good. Krishna's compassion at sparing Kaliya's life at the behest of his consorts tell us a spiritual tale. God doesn't aim to destroy evil persons unless absolutely required. He prefers to destroy the evil within them instead. Similarly, when we confront evil acts done by people, we tend to build up hatred towards the concerned individuals. This is incorrect. We may need to condemn the evil act and, if needed, punish the act with intent of reforming the person, but should never let hatred fill our own hearts towards any person, no matter how evil, for beneath their thick outer covering of darkness, God's light resides in them too, so hate no one. End of chapter 38. Jai Sai Ram.